Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tracy's Tuesday Talk. I don't know if it's going to be Tuesday when we air this or not, but hopefully it'll be Tuesday. This is my friend Adrian. Some of you might know him, and some of you might not. But Adrian is, I'm going to say you're part of St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with his partner Sean, and Sean is on our affirming team, and we're always thrilled that he's, part of that. So, but Adrian has special gifts. You have special gifts.
Thank you.
Adrian came to us, the pastoral care team about
2 years ago.
yeah, about 2 years ago, talking about the potential of having a workshop or a group, a small group about death and dying. And so did huge amounts of research. I think you've researched for like 6 or 8 months or something, and put together a little bit of a workshop and did a dry run with the pastoral care team last year. And we all thought it was great and wonderful. And then we sat on it for a little while because it had to kind of percolate and get to the right time. And as a lot of you know, we've had some deaths in the congregation, and that's just going to continue. We have an aging, big population of big percentage of our congregation is aging, and we're going to be facing this a lot. And this is not something that we find in our society very easy to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And so Adrian and Richard Taylor Kerr and I got together and said this might be the right time to initiate a small group.
Mm-hmm.
So first thing I want to ask Adrian, so you get to know him a little bit, is tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Okay.
And then we can talk about how you can just morph into this, or I can ask you a specific question. But
well, maybe we should dive into it.
Okay,
Let's
dive into it. Sure.
Dive into it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talk about death and dying with our confirmation students, but we often avoid it as we get older for unknown reasons. Well, we all know why, because we want to avoid death, but that's not the reality, right? It's going to happen to all of us, and so and we're finding that more and more people are asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So to create that kind of space to be able to have that conversation with people is important. Yeah.
I think what happened was about 2 years ago, my father-in-law became quite ill, and it was a particularly difficult time for me and Sean. And we were looking for a special space to really talk about saying farewell to our loved ones, and we just couldn't really find one that had the right. I would say we couldn't find a space where it had the right tone and the right content, and so we thought, well, why not talk to Tracy and see, what can we do? Because I know it is going to be a continuing. I wasn't the only one. I'm sure it happens to a lot of people. So that's what started all of this. And I think the other poignant, point was my aunt, who was also, was asking about, I don't even know. She said to me, I remember her words. She said, "I don't even know how to start talking about death, and I don't know how to talk about my mortality, and I don't even know where to begin." Which, all of that happening together made me think, well, I think there's a demand, and I think there's an opportunity here to really help the community with these topics. I think if we have a safe space to address, it's a multi-layered and a very there's a lot to unpack here, and I think if we together with the community, help to figure out how we structure the content and how we want to handle it, I think it's going to be a very productive and very valuable time together to talk about this.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's a good time. I mean, any time's a good time, but it is a good time to do it, because there's more and more people that don't that have questions when they broach it upon, with their adult children or family or friends or whatever, and people want to avoid the topic. But the interesting thing is that the more information we have, the calmer and the more confident we are in that topic, and in the reality of getting to a place where we're talking about our own mortality,
Right.
right? And because it's going to happen to all of us, like we don't want to face that, but it is going to happen. And I think the more prepared we are, the more I don't want to say easy, but it's more comforting to know that, oh, I've been thinking about this. This is when this kicks in, right? And that kind of thing. Yeah. So I think that's going to be, yeah. So I mean, some of the topics that we could layer into as time goes on, depending on where the group wants to go, or like we have these wonderful cheat sheets. No, I'm just kidding. So some of the topics are understanding death, emotional and psychological aspects, end of life planning. We've done that at church before, is talking about end of life planning. And people come to those events, but if you've come to those events, have you actually done your end of life planning? Have you actually filled out your green sleeves, green sleeve thing for medical care after you come to a workshop about it, right? Just because you know about it doesn't mean you're actually doing it, right? Practical things around, funeral planning, memorial planning, your will and your estate. Spiritual and existential themes that could come up throughout the whole, it might be woven into all the conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then experiential components. Talking about things. There was a family who lost their mom to cancer. And she knew she was at the end of life, and she had written love letters to every single one of her family members. And that's what they read at the family gathering after she passed away. And I thought, oh, that's really nice, and that's nice for the person who is dying to say, I've got it all covered, right? I don't feel like I'm leaving anything behind or leaving anything out. Yeah. And so lots of things that we could, like you say, unpack.
Yeah, and I think too, I mean, we talk about it too, is that, the more you kind of have a forum to be able to talk about it, I think it normalizes it somehow. It doesn't disrespect it, but I think it really makes us aware of what it is, and I think it just prepares us more for what to expect down the road.
Yeah.
I think that's really valuable, because I know sometimes these things happen very quickly. And so, you don't have time to kind of go through the process and also learn as you go. I think if this is almost is really advanced preparation and just really thinking ahead, and also serves as another, again, the venue for sharing and for pre and post grief when your loved ones so
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you might be feeling like you're called to come to a group because you've had some loss. But also, you might be feeling called to get prepared, or it could be both. Both end.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. So giving, as you've said before, giving space.
Giving space.
For what's needed. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, so that's kind of the idea. I'm hoping that it's going to have a strong start, and I'm hoping that people are interested in a group like this. And our plan is for it to continue once a month, happening once a month, starting. Let me give you a date. Starting on the 30th of March after church. So it's going to be an after church thing. So you don't have to come out extra. And then as the group kind of evolves, we'll see what people might want in the future. But for now, it'll be the last Sunday of every month after church up here in the lounge. And and so come to church and then join Adrian and me, or Adrian and someone else, to talk about give space. And we're calling it the art of
farewell.
The art of farewell. Isn't that nice? It's so nice.
It's nice.
It's so nice. Yeah, the art of farewell. So if you'd like to be a part of that, please plan on joining us on the 30th of March here up here in the lounge after the service. Anything else you want to end by saying?
No, I think this is just an open invitation. I hope to see you there, and I'm really excited to hear how this will be, how it will roll out, because there is, again, like Tracy said, there is a lot of content here to unpack, but it's really up to us to have decide and kind of structure the program as it goes out, as we need to, depending on what the community needs. But overall, I think the art of farewell will be essential for just kind of hopefully what I look forward to is hopefully it'll be on our calendars like going forward.
Going
So
forward.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
And then we can think about inviting other people. It doesn't have to be just St. Thomas people, but those people that you think in your world that might benefit or might help them to actually know that this is something that is able to be spoken about out kind of in a public way and destigmatize it. Thank you. And you will love Adrian because Adrian is like me. We both have kind of quirky humor, and you will love him because I love him and you will love him. So there you go.
Oh, thank you. My heart is full, but yes, thank you.
Yeah. So, all right. So hopefully we'll see you on the 30th after church up here in the lounge. And until then, you can send questions and I can forward them on to Adrian. And then maybe we can actually set up an email for you through the church.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that will be dedicated to Adrian. So we'll do that as time goes on. So come down for our first session. Come up from downstairs to our first session on the 30th after church. And yeah, we'll talk about the art of farewell.
All right. Thank you.
All right, everybody, have a great rest of the week. And always remember that I see you and you are loved. Bye.
Bye.